What's going on, everybody? Jamie here from FMSCOUT. So you're thinking about managing in the Championship? Well, today I'm going to bring you 20 players that you can sign. These are going to be separated into free transfers and potential ability players that you can sign and players that are interested in you. Now, I feel you're paying for the guys who manage not in the top league of any nation, and you see a lot of videos about wonder kids that you can sign, and these players are going to cost you £70 million. It's kind of annoying, I get it. So this is something new I'm trying in preparation for FM21. If you want to see these type of videos, it doesn't just have to be the Championship. It can be any league around the world. You want me to look for players for you, I will do exactly that. But I need two things from you. I need you to drop a like on the video to show your support if you do enjoy this type of video. This is a lot different to what we've done before. And the second thing, if there's a league you want me to cover, let me know in the comments below. So this video can be a little bit tricky. I mean, the best way I've thought of doing it is picking a team kind of mid-table who's predicted to finish mid-table. Birmingham was predicted 12th at the start. They are 16th now for some reason. But you see what I'm talking about. Obviously, if I pick Leeds, then, you know, the guys who manage near the bottom, say Wigan, Millwall, Reading, Birmingham, chances are you won't be able to sign half of the players. Now, the chances are if you are managing Leeds and I'm looking at players interested in Birmingham, there's still going to be a lot of players in this list that you can sign for Leeds. That's going to make a difference. I would always suggest scouting these players first or offering them trials if they are free transfers, just to see how they fit in your team. And of course, there's lots of different budgets. Some of these, I've gone for a lot of cheap players around 1.2 million, below 1 million for their potential ability. And these are players that will make a difference in your team and generally be able to moneyball and make a lot of money off them in the future. But without further ado, let's get into the free transfers. Player number 1. Alexander Milosevic. He is wanted at the minute by a lot of Championship teams, and I was talking about Leeds. He is interested in joining Birmingham. Now, the guy is probably one of the best centre-backs you'll be able to sign on a free transfer in the Championship. He's 27. He was previously at Nottingham Forest for 2 years. You know, looking at his attributes, he's got a lot of good attributes. The guy, if I approach to sign him, wants around 11k per week. Now, that is not bad for the Championship. And again, always trial them first, but I would try and act fast on this guy just because he is wanted by a lot of teams. But yeah, no, attribute-wise, definitely could make it in the Premier League if you get promoted. Diogo Amado now, a central midfielder, previously in Qatar, 29 years old, is a model citizen as well. Always bear in mind the personality of the player that you're signing because it makes a difference, it really does. You can see his leadership is great. You know, his attributes are really good for that central midfielder role. He is currently wanted by West Brom and a few other players in Qatar. If I try and approach to sign, he will want around 12k. So, you know, a lot of Championship teams can afford that wage. He might want less at a bigger club. He might want more at a lower club. That's how it generally works in terms of wages. The higher the reputation, the less money they want. The lower the reputation, the more money they want. It all comes into season preview as well. So, yeah, Diogo Amado, very good attributes, all-round player, would make a difference in the Championship. If you're looking for a player now who can play, is very versatile. Aaron Niguez, he can play on the left, he can play on the right, he can play attacking midfielder. Previously played in Malaysia. You can see his technique is great, his flair is great, his dribbling's good. Definitely a player that can make it in the Championship. He is 30 years old though. If I approach to sign Aaron, he will cost around 8k a week, which is, you know, really good. That's less than the first two we've seen. But yeah, you can sell this guy on for a few mil in a few years if you wanted to as well. A left back now, Franck Tabernou, the French, 30 years old, currently wanted by Brentford on a free transfer. Really good left back, really good attributes, all-round left back. He's got an ambitious personality. You can see his previous clubs. He has been in England before at Swansea, though he didn't make any appearances. If I try and approach to sign, he will cost around 8k and he wants a 3-year contract. But no, a very good player. Another central midfielder now, Gianelli Imbula, previously at Stoke. He can play Mazzala, advanced playmaker, DLP, central midfielder, Roman playmaker, box to box. So he can do quite a lot for you. A really good player to have in the Championship. Currently wanted by Bristol City, Cardiff and Sheff Wednesday. So you can see the level he's at. But he's got good dribbling and stuff like that. And his physical, his mentals are good. Approaching to sign, he will cost around 9.5k. So a really good deal. If you are looking for the English players, I would suggest Ben Marshall, who was released by Norwich. He made 4 appearances for Norwich. You can see he is a winger. He can play on the attacking midfielder and the left-hand side as well. A really versatile player to have in your team. Got good crossing. I mean, the physical stats need improvement, but he's not the fastest winger, but he's an all-round player as well. He is currently wanted by Huddersfield and Swansea. If you approach to sign, he will cost you around 12k per week. You can see kind of a lot of these good players are wanting a lot of money like this, but these are the best players that you can sign in the championship. So, but yeah, that is Ben Marshall. A central midfielder I would suggest now is Tom Carroll, released by Swansea. He was at Swansea for 6 years, advanced playmaker, DLP, really good attributes. He's got a good teamwork, good balance, he's fairly professional. He is injured at the minute for 3 to 5 weeks, so no one's really interested. But if you approach to sign, he will cost you around 11k per week. So yeah, a really good signing, a really good midfielder. Now I'm going to show you 3 players who are kind of the aging players, you know, 35, 34 plus, who will add something for your team if you need that experience in your team. I would suggest Yaya Tour, of course. Yaya Tour is currently wanted by a Chinese club. Very good player, as you all know. I mean, his physical stats, you wouldn't really be able to play him for 90 minutes, but, you know, as a super sub, and he's very cheap as well. His technical attributes are really good. If I try and approach to sign Toure, he is only going to want around 4k per week. Only on a 1-year contract, so definitely a player that you should bring in, even if it's just for the experience for the younger lads. I would consider bringing this guy in. Gilardi Naav, a player that I always look at on Football Manager because he's 36, same age as obviously Toure, but his attributes kind of look better than Toure's. I mean, not all of them, but you can see his physical stats are still really good at 36 years old. He is wanted at the minute by a lot of good teams. Bologna, West Brom, a lot of big teams want him. He can play all around the pitch, though I'd probably suggest playing him as that older midfielder. His passing, though, 16 passing still. If we approach to sign him, he will want around 9k per week. A lot of money for a 36-year-old, I know. But if you're desperate for that DLP, I would look at Michael. And the final one for the free transfers, Alan Hutton, 34 years old, previously at Aston Villa. Aston Villa guys will know him, he's been there for a long time. But he's still really, really good at 34. His physical attributes are still really good. His mentals are great as well. And let's be honest, even his technicals are quite good at 34. You know, he's wanted by a lot of championship teams, as you can see. A really good option for a right back to have. And if I try and approach the sign, he only wants 4.5k. So I think that is probably one of the best 3 transfers you can get as a right back in the championship. Okay, let's move on to the potential ability now. These are some players where if you are in the championship and you've got a bit of money, you should be getting a scout report on these straight away and bidding for these players. And if you do have the money at the start, I would suggest looking at these players first, because these are potential players and these have a potential to obviously make you money. They have a potential to get better. You might not be able to get work permit on some of them, but loan them out, get them a work permit. Some of these will turn out very, very good players. Player number 1, Roberto Abreu, 18 years old, valued at £500. Determination of 19. I mean, I've done a spotlight on this guy and he turns out very, very good. I mean, if you've got the money, I would suggest buying this guy from the off. He is going to cost you 950k though. That's his release clause, but he is interested in joining you. And if you have the money, I would do it. Players are really hard to find. Like, even current ability players in the championship, you're going to have to spend millions and millions to get the player of that quality, and you just don't have the money. So I always go down the potential route and the free transfer route, and I would suggest getting this guy. A player that probably won't get a work permit, but a player that you should desperately sign straight away is Gilardi Naav. This guy is featured in a lot of my videos, and I cannot rate him enough. He is absolutely beastly when he gets good. You can see he's only valued at £725, and that is exactly what he will cost you. So bring him in, get him loaned out to Spain or something, or somewhere, Poland, Serbia, something like that, where he can get a work permit or a second nationality. Give him a few years, bring him back when he's 20, and I can guarantee you this guy will look like a Premier League player. A central midfielder now, an Icelandic Isaac Bergman Johnson. The player is valued at 11.5k. If you're looking for that potential in the midfield, I would bring this guy in. You can approach to sign. If I go for a transfer though, they want around 800k for him. So if you've got 800k spare and you need a central midfielder, I would look at Isaac Bergman Johnson. This guy doesn't look like much, but he does have some potential. He is 16. Hidayat Hussein, the attacking midfielder for Ludogorets. He is only 16, like I said, but he's got quite a good determination. I mean, he doesn't look great now, but trust me, he has got some potential around. It's 140 plus potential as well, so it's a player that you need to keep an eye out on. And if you try and make an offer, he is going to cost slightly. I mean, it's only going to cost 40k. 40k isn't that much to take a risk on a 16-year-old, right? And he's from Bulgaria, so he'll get a work permit. So yeah, make sure you look at this guy and bring him in. My favourite player now on Football Manager, Adam Milosevic, is a player that will join the championship. You just have to be very lucky in getting him. Now, he is wanted by, you can see, Manchester City, so chances are he might not talk to you. I've noticed sometimes, I've tested sometimes he does talk to you. So, you know, he is going to want quite a bit of money. I mean, if I approach to sign, you can see he's interested. Whether I can afford his wages, I mean, I can. So it's pretty crazy. If you can get this guy in for 55k, seriously, he will change your save completely. You will not be disappointed. This is one player I would suggest going for straight away without fail. Marion Kozminski now, a Croatian at Osijek. You can see, I mean, his attributes look really good already at 18 years old. Again, I'd always scout him though, but you can make an offer for this player, and he's only going to cost you 650k. Now, he's the best central midfielder we've seen so far, and is a really good player. I would always look at this guy. He's only valued at 475 quid, but determination's good, aggression's good. Needs to work on a few things, of course, but he's only 18 years old. An attacking midfielder you can pick up now is João Castro in Portugal, currently playing for FC FMSCOUT. You can see he's only valued at £500, but he is approached to sign, and he is interested in these clubs, though he is going to cost you around 400k. It might go to 675, but he does turn out to be a really good attacking midfielder in the future. It just depends if you've got the money to throw at this guy from the start. A left winger now, Conrad Gutowski, currently playing in Poland. He is Polish. He is 20 years old. Doesn't look anything special right now, but on your save, he might look a little bit better. Only valued at 15k. If I try and make an offer for him, it's going to set you back 150k. He does have potential, otherwise he would not be on this list. These players might look terrible now, but seriously, they will get better. That's the whole point of the potential ability transfers for you. They will get better. A player that you should probably snap up is Lorenzo Colombo. Now, he plays for AC Milan, but he's willing to join a team in England in the Championship. Again, I've seen this guy. When he gets 19, he's got a rapid development. He does improve massively, and generally is always in the Premier League. So he is obviously good enough. If I try and make an offer for him, they want 1.4 million. So the most expensive we've seen. If you have the money, I would suggest giving this guy the game time and giving him a contract as soon as you can. Now, if you are looking for that quality on the wing, I would suggest Alessandra Moni. Extremely good player. I think RDF did a video on this guy on our channel, so if you want to see him more in depth, make sure you go and check that out. What you can see is a right winger. He's got crossing and dribbling, technique, work rate, and he's only 16. The guy is approach to sign. It will cost you around 650k. A player, if you can get this guy and Milosevic in your team in the Championship, you're onto a massive winner, seriously. But yeah, that's been it into the video. I hope you guys have enjoyed this. If you want to see me do any more specific league signings like this, I know, like I say at the start of the video, it is kind of annoying when you look at Wonderkid lists and they're all way out of your budget, right? If you want any leagues doing, let me know in the comments, and I'll see you all next time. Goodbye, everybody.